Hi there and welcome to What's Your View with MKM. My name is Muravha and as you know, I am your host. Today in studio, we've got a man of God who was born and grew up in a place called Staffelkop, which is in Limpopo. Today we are here to talk about the book that he has just released, which is called Begin Again. So we are just going to hear more about this as well as his journey. Mr. Phillip Makuba, welcome to studio, sir.
Thank you so much.
Amen. I can see here on the cover we've got Phillip Makuba Mogedi. Is Makuba the second name or is that the surname?
Makuba is the second name, yeah.
Oh, it's a second name. Oh, I got Uguti. It's actually the surname. But how are you doing, sir?
I'm well, and I'm actually happy to be here.
Yes.
So, yes.
So this is your first book.
This is my first book.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so can you just give us a background for like how did you get to the point where you decided, so you know what, I'm writing a book now?
Actually, you'll see when you actually checking the whole acknowledgement. There's a part where I actually acknowledge somebody who actually the conversation with them sparked.
Yes, okay.
The whole sort of starting to write the book.
I see, okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So would you say that this is more of a motivational book or what is it based on?
I can say that, but more inspirational. I don't know the difference between the two, but yes.
Inspirational. I see. Okay, so now there's a part that I read that talks about the brokenness of Christians. You know, how broken we are and how that most of the time would lead us to depression. Now, can you tell us a bit more about that aspect?
Yes, because what I've realized, especially also in my personal experience, was that when many Christians go to faith, you've done all you know to do.
Yes.
You prayed, you read the scriptures, you go to church, you tithe, but things not happening for you. And then in a place, giving up is simple, it's easy. People sleep into depression, and always have this question, why do Christians go into depression? Because they pray, they believe God is mighty and powerful. So what's going on? So that's why I think it's chapter 6 and 7 up there. That's why actually I talked about in terms of expectation. Many of us pray, believe God, but there's a final date to this thing. How much are you expecting God to do what He actually said He's going to do?
You actually touched on something that I wanted to finish on, the expectation part. Now, before we went to the expectation part, we spoke about faith. So I wanted to ask you, what is the dangers, of one person having faith but not having expectation? Because I believe that those are two very different things.
I call them power twins.
Okay.
I put it this way, with patience, actually. Faith and patience are the power twins. You can't say I believe God for something and not be willing to wait for Him.
Okay.
And that's where Isaiah 40:29 says, even the young man. A young person is characterized with strength. So you don't expect them to actually collapse. Actually, they say therefore. Meaning everybody, whether you're Christian or not, you fall in that category.
I see.
You're gonna do all you're going to do, you're going to be powerful, but somewhere, things may not go the way you want. That's why you need to mount up with wings. That's where God comes in. That's where faith comes in.
But is it always that simple? I believe this is something which is easier said than done, because I noticed there's a part where you spoke about your experience after you just got your matric and you got home and you told everybody that yes, I've got, I've passed, here's my name in the newspaper and all of that, and they were shocked. They were shocked, what, you are the first person to actually attain your matric at first attempt and they were not prepared for that. How did that experience make you feel?
Well, it's terrible because when you're growing up, when you're young, you don't know failure. You don't know rejection.
Okay.
All your high school life and everything else. Everything was good. Whatever you wanted, they gave you. Now you come to a place where you're expecting, because I just got an acceptance letter from this university. I'm excited. I get my matrix results. I'm going to tell them we're celebrating and everything else. And the moment where I'm like, okay, let's go do this. They're like,
we went to pay for this. Oh my goodness.
And I realized what they limited everything I was in me to what they've been through.
Wow. But then now when you are talking about that, I think the decision that they had made at that moment was based on the background or the past of how the few people before you had actually done certain things. So now coming to this question, how does a person's background influence a person's future? Is there a link between the two, or are those two separate things?
You know, I can't say, well, there is a link, yes, definitely, because how you grew up, how they look at you, like how they perceive where you're supposed to go as parents, the vision, the plans, the education plans, everything else, it actually says a lot about what they think of you, what they want you to become. And I want to come somewhere there and say, I can't say it's also a stumbling block, I can't say it's also a limit, because when you go into the Bible, you look at Isaac and Jacob and all the other guys, the backgrounds are different. They come from the same plan, but the results were prompted by God. Regardless of what we go through, your background can be a good thing. Because I grew up in an environment where people were drinking, you see the violence in my house and everything else. But I decided I'm not going to do it. People think that I didn't drink because I was born again. I was born again later. But the decision was made out of the background.
Wow.
So some people say, no, they drink, so I'm going to drink.
Oh my goodness.
I said, no, they drink, I don't want that.
So the decision, it's a decision. So we can't really blame our past for the decisions that we are actually making today.
And the moment you actually have someone to blame, it's like a crutch. You don't know when you heal it. You walk with it. You carry that thing, carry that pain of your past background, and it actually stands your way. It doesn't allow you to actually step up to where you're supposed to be.
My goodness. Now, the title of your book is called Begin Again. And I believe this is your way of inspiring someone to begin again after maybe a particular failure or something like that. So, as I mentioned, that there are some things that are easier said than done. How do we then take this begin again and implement it in our lives?
Oh yes, there's this practical step that are actually in the book. Because if you, people who actually get the book and get the back, they'll actually see there's patience, there's perseverance, there's actually, because in your journey, there's obstacles. And that's why I said, obstacles are actually not actually what stops you, they're actually the path.
I love that.
Because remember this, I think it's 1 Corinthians 10:13, it says about God doesn't tempt or test us, but I like the part where it says, with the temptation, there's a way of escape. In every storm, there's a way out. There's a path. Within the waters in Egypt, there was God put a highway for them to go through to the other side. So in whatever challenge, whatever we're going through in life, we must always be actually prayerful enough and actually have faith enough to actually trust God to lead us to that path out of it.
Okay. Have you ever been at a point where you got so frustrated at God? When things were not going your way and you're like, but God, you know, I am praying, I am doing all of this, what's going on?
All the time in my life, yes, that happened. Where actually I was, is it about 10 or 15 years ago, I can't remember that. But what happened was, I bought a car. My first car. Yeah, I excited. 3 months later, I got an accident.
Oh gosh.
and the insurance getting car would cost. I had to actually, have that car written out.
Oh my word.
And the same week I was sick. I was diagnosed with TB.
I read that and I'm like, oh my goodness.
And then the company I was working at, they closed shop.
Oh my word.
So in 7 days all this thing took place. And I slipped into serious stuff. I was depressed. I did not know what depression was. I actually knew after that I was. Because I carried myself to sleep and all kinds of things. And then, that's when I actually had that moment of God. I've been a Christian all my life.
I'm doing all the things right.
That's good.
My goodness. So then with this book, would you say that it's specifically written for Christians? Or is it okay for anybody who's anybody to just read it?
I can't say it's for Christian people. Because there's a scripture in Luke, if I'm not wrong. It says, rains comes upon every house. Yes, on the house that is built on the rock, the Christian people, they'll familiarize with this better, but there's somebody out there who does not know God, who this can lead them the path to God. Because when I was praying, for this, I was actually saying, That's why there's salvation price and everything in there. So even for those who have gone through stuff but they didn't know the way. That's why chapter 5 talks more about God is the way. God is the solution.
Yes.
I can talk about courage, I can talk about all this inspirational stuff in here, but at the end of the day, if Jesus is not at the beginning of it all, it doesn't mean anything. Because the born again nature is also important to everything else that is in God to become a reality somewhere as well.
So in chapter 5, there's a part where you were talking about your friends. That there came a point where, because they had acquired their possessions or so many possessions, they then started changing their lifestyle. We see that a lot with many Christians today. What would you say about that?
Yeah, what I can say is that, at the end of the day, with life is it's cycles. You might be up there today, I might be okay.
Yeah.
The next day, something's may happen. Not that God causes that.
Okay.
But our personal behaviors, like we're saying, what people go through in life, naturally make them sink into a place they don't want to go. And I think it's important for every one of us, regardless of what stage you're at in your life. You must always keep God at the center.
Yes.
Always be humble, because this Proverbs 16 says, with humility and the fear of the Lord, which is honor in life. That's how they come.
Okay.
But you need to maintain them. You still look the same.
Yes. Because I think many of times we see God as a blesser.
Yes.
So the only time where I feel I need God is that time when I'm in lack. Yes. So I'll be like, God, I need this. And the moment I receive that, I feel like, I don't need God anymore,
And God is not for like Christmas.
He's not for like Christmas.
He's our Father. He takes care of us. And he sees and knows the things that are going to hurt us. Some of the things are given us not really to put us in a place where we can be comfortable, like the world says.
Yes.
But it's actually to maintain us something that will actually be good for our generations after us. Yeah.
So anyways, in conclusion, where can the viewers attain these books? How can they get in a point where they can buy your books? Yes.
Well, they can actually call my numbers is 082261839 to place their orders, or even via WhatsApp, and also on my social media platforms. I've got handles like Twitter, it's Makuba Phillips, Facebook, Makuba Phillips, LinkedIn. Actually, you can actually go to Phillip Mogedi. It's also on LinkedIn, so that's where I think I shall get it. Amen.
No, thank you so much, sir. I read this book personally and I enjoyed reading it. I've learned so much from it. So I believe that you also can learn a lot from it. So thank you so much, sir, for coming through into the studio.
Yes, thanks so much.
Amen.